The future of blockchain has arrived. You betcha.
Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Monday, June 23rd. It is 6:21 right now. We got market opening up in about 9 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. All right, so let me go ahead and send this link out to you guys here in the premium, and then we'll go from there. All right, looks good. So I'll give it a few moments for people to make their way in. And as people continue to make their way in, so looking over here at our PDF for the day, guys, key biases for today are neutral to slightly bearish. Wyman is trading below its 200 EMA and major resistance levels at 42,509 and 42,576, which is going to be around this area up here. On top of that, we have mixed momentum indicators, MACD showing early bullish crossover, but RSI and stochastics are showing a point of exhaustion. So that means that, price is kind of pushing to the upside, but it is starting to slow down. You can kind of see right here, price has been pushing up from London session, and it's now starting to slow down a bit. Lastly, market sentiment is cautious following geopolitical tension and upcoming Fed commentary. So if you guys haven't heard, pretty sure everybody has, the US has joined the war against Iran. So we'll see how that affects the market. Obviously, you guys can see price here kind of spiked down immediately on open, and then it came right back up. It was a huge spike right here. I think about 300 points spike down, then it came right back up. We'll see what happens in market actually opens up today. So opening up today, we might see a bearish spike again and then possibly correction back up. Other than that, here are the key levels right here. So the support levels, I've already marked them up on my chart. If you guys want them, you guys can go ahead and take the PDF right here. It's on the Discord. So if you go to the Discord right here under announcements, I posted them up here. If you guys want to look under the team chat, it's also posted right there. And then lastly, the main area where you'll always find it will be under market outlooks, daily outlooks right here. So if you guys want to grab these levels, feel free to grab them. I've already marked them up on my chart, so I don't need to mark them up again. But you guys can see over here, price is kind of sitting down the middle right here. It's pushed above the R1 resistance. We have R2, R3 resistance up here, and the last level right here for price to push up to. So ideally, if I'm going to look for some sells here, I'll be looking for price to sweep from this area up here. And then vice versa, we have support down here as well. So if price does come down lower, I'll look for sweeps around these areas down below. So we'll see what happens here when market opens up, guys. But we got market opening up shortly in about 6 minutes. So people are still joining in. But again, if you guys haven't looked at the PDF for today, feel free to pull it up. PDF covers pretty much the overall bias for today, which is neutral to slightly bearish. And then also I have all of my support levels and all of my resistance levels right here. Possible trade setups right here. These are just generic setups if you guys are looking for like normal strategies. Obviously, these kind of line up with ours. So like, for example, here we have the AM VWAP projection, scalp short. This is going to be very similar to our liquidity sweep. Range bound reversal, it's a chop play. This is also going to be very similar to our liquidity sweep. Breakout play, this is going to be similar to MPSV2 and regular breakout. Flush and reclaim, obviously some sweeps right here as well. There isn't any news today, I believe, or actually there might be. So I think there's preliminary June PMI at 9:45, which already passed, or it's going to happen actually at 6:45, and then existing home sales at 10 o'clock, which is 7 o'clock my time. So let's pull that up real quick. Yeah, this morning we have SP Global Manufacturing PMI at 645, and then we have existing home sales. They're high impact news events, but I'm not really expecting there to be a crazy spike with regard to those news events. Obviously just something to look at. Yeah, so if you guys want to pull up the details, details will be right there on the Discord under the PDF. For me personally, I'll be looking for possible sweeps, probably right here. So I'll be looking for possible sweeps above here in the resistance zone. If price comes down lower, I'll be looking for possible sweeps down here. So just a couple of things for me to look at right here if price does get to these areas. Obviously, I'm going to be a little careful here on open because obvious reasons, the US-Iran tension going on, it's probably going to spike price because oil prices are going to go up, of course, or they already have gone up and they're going to go up at even higher. We'll see what happens. So let's see what's here so far. Morning, Ben. Morning, Karen. Morning, Maria. Morning, Sam. Morning, everybody. All right, guys, we got market opening up in about 3 minutes. Again, I've marked up all the levels here. We have some liquidity here that got knocked out pre-market. I'm just going to clean that up a little bit. Again, if you guys are going to be looking for possible opportunities for entry, I probably would look for some sells around the resistance zones up here. And if you're looking for buys, I'll be looking for buys down here at the support levels. If this doesn't work, then obviously further support down here and down here. Yeah. So again, we have two support levels right here. So if this first one doesn't hit, next one's going to be down here right below it. Well, we'll see what happens shortly. The ATR is currently at 11 right now. I think the ATR is going to pick up pretty heavily once market opens up. We're about 2 minutes from market open. If you guys are looking to take the breakout for today, we don't have a confirmation yet. It's looking like it may possibly be a buy. If not, it'll possibly swing back to a sell. So we'll have to see and confirm if we have a sell signal, which comes up here shortly. But again, if you guys want the PDF, guys, it's in the Discord. I have all the levels marked up here, possible trade setups, news events for the day, risk management recommendations, and session outlooks. And if you want the quick game plan summary, it's going to be down here below. All right, guys, again, today's key bias is neutral to slightly bearish. If you guys didn't watch my video yesterday, go to the YouTube. I made a video regarding the weekly outlook with the weekly level. So my weekly levels are going to be right here. Price is currently at the weekly resistance. So we're currently bouncing off the major resistance cluster up here. Nowhere near the monthly resistance, but we're currently at the weekly resistance right now. So we might get a bounce off there and price to slightly swing below. Breakout for today is going to be a buy, guys, if anybody's looking to take it. Again, looking over here at the weekly directional bias, it is also neutral to slightly bearish. It's currently bouncing off the weekly resistance zone. So once we see that right there, we'll see what happens here next as price pushes up. My sweep area is going to be up here at 42,610. I'm going to see if I could maybe prepare for that in case price does make it that high. So I'll be watching it. We got market opening up shortly in about 15 seconds. We got market opening up in 4, 3, 2, 1. Market is now open. Mark this up as the opening price. So price is doing exactly what we talked about earlier. So like I said, because the US has entered the war with Iran, I was expecting price to dump here a little bit on open, which is exactly what's happening. This doesn't necessarily mean price is going to keep dumping from here. Price can just initially dump as market reacts to the news from the weekend, and then it'll probably swing right back up, right? My support levels aren't until down here, so I'm not really looking to take any buys until price gets down to this lower area. So we got price over here knocked out liquidity. We'll see as price continues to move along. Not in any positions here, just following this dump. Again, like I said, all the crazy stuff has happened over the weekend, so I'm going to be taking it easy, not really looking to get into anything that's right down the middle. If I'm going to be looking for some buys, I'll be looking for some possible buys right here off the support level. And then vice versa, if I'm going to look for some sells, I'll be looking for some sells up around this resistance level up here. So I'm not really going to jump into anything down the middle. I'll be looking for possible MPSV2s. If the patterns do align, then maybe I'll look for an MPSV2, but right now, not necessarily looking for that at the moment. So again, price is doing exactly what I just warned you guys about. I said we're probably going to get a big dump over here because of the geopolitical news that happened over the weekend, and then possibly a swing back up. So I'm not really looking to get caught in this chop here, guys. I'm going to let price kind of breathe and do what it needs to do. And then once price gets near the levels where my support and resistance are sitting, I'll look for some possible sweeps around those areas or MPSV2s towards those areas. So we got price pushing back up right here. Clean this up a little bit. Price pretty much came down, swept this area down here. So we could go ahead and mark this up as a possible sweep area, just so that we have a follow through of like what's been going on with regard to the market. So we have price basically sweep from down here. There's a couple of things you can look for next, possibly an MPSV2, possible continuation. There's a lot of different things here to look at. So we got a sell signal right here, retracement. We have a sweep that just happened off this liquidity level right here. Now what you can look for next is a possible MPSV2. So price may push down, retrace, come down lower, and this could be a possible MPSV2. If that's not the case and price pushes up, you might get a buy signal which comes up and then possible MPSV2 to the upside, right? Couple different opportunities right there. Again, I'm not really looking to jump into anything here. Again, I'm looking for price to reach my support levels or my resistance levels up here. If you guys want these levels, the PDF is in the Discord. Everything is detailed right here with the support levels and the resistance levels. We have a possible MPSV2 setting up right here, guys. If you guys are looking to take this, I mean, again, you can take it at your own risk, guys. I'm not going to be taking trades out in the open like this, especially with the current market that we currently have coming into a crazy volatile week. So if you guys want to take this, feel free. I'll mark it up for you guys. I'm not going to take this here. We got about 30 seconds left on this candle. This candle has to close right here below this area. And then it needs to close red. If it closes below this area, this is going to be an MPSV2. If it doesn't close below this area, it's not going to be an MPSV2. You need to wait for it to actually confirm below the momentum down here. So see how we're getting a big spike right there? We're getting a big spike back up. There's no entry here for MPSV2 yet. Again, you need this red candle to close below this area right here. There's another attempt right here with this candle. We'll see if this candle closes. If it doesn't close below this area here, no MPSV2. If it does, then great, MPSV2, and you guys can possibly look for that to push down lower. Hey, Brock, morning. Hey, Glenn, morning. All right, guys, we're just waiting for confirmation here. Again, if you guys are looking to take that MPSV2, the candle needs to close below this area. You can see here how price is having trouble getting past here, right? Price keeps coming back to retest this area of liquidity right there, and it bounces directly off. In order for us to get that MPSV2, it needs to actually close down here. And there we go, as price pushes back up. Again, this is what I mentioned earlier this morning. I'm not going to get caught in this chop, right? The bias for today is neutral to slightly bearish. It's not super bearish, but it's neutral to slightly bearish. We might stay within this chop consolidation unless price pushes out of this area. If you guys looked at my weekly outlook video from yesterday, I talked about this as well. I said over here, YM is currently, trading near the key resistance level, where it's currently bouncing off right here on the weekly time frame, or not weekly time frame, but weekly outlook, and it's in a narrow consolidation range. So it's kind of just sitting around this middle area right here. I don't want to get caught in that consolidation chop, so I'm waiting for price to push down to my support levels down here or my resistance levels up here for entry. Because if that's the case, then I'll let price push up to my resistance, bounce off, sweep this level, and come back into the range, right? Vice versa, if price pushes down, same thing. I'll look for price to push down to my support, sweep my levels down here, and come back up into the consolidation range. So there's no need to force anything here, guys. Obviously there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes with regard to Iran and Israel, now US. So You don't want to get caught in the market chop. There's going to be a lot of market chop over the next couple months. There's going to be a lot of trending moves and there's going to be a lot of chop, but mostly a lot of chop because people are uncertain about what's going to happen next, right? I think all eyes are on Iran right now, kind of worried about, when they're going to bomb the US or retaliate. It's going to happen eventually, but we'll see. So again here, guys, price never closed below this area, so there's no MPSV2 for a sell. We have a possible MPSV2 here setting up for a buy now. So earlier we were looking for a sell MPSV2 because we had a sell signal. We now have a buy signal right here. So with this buy signal, we're looking for price to push up, retrace, continue down lower, and push back up. So what we need to look for here is a possible red candle. The red candle is going to confirm the retracement. Until then, we're going to keep looking for price to either push up higher or pull back into this range. For me personally, I'm not looking for sells until price reaches this upper area up here. There's going to be a couple different levels of resistance right here and liquidity. So if you guys want to take liquidity from a lower level, I mean, feel free. You guys can take it from these lower levels, right? I'm going to wait for this higher level right here at 42,610. So that's where I'll be looking to get into my sweep. Just gonna put my order there now, so I don't forget. So I'll be looking to get a sweep up there, guys. I'll look to, and my order is now placed right there. It's currently pending. I'll be looking for price to push up, possibly an MPSV2 to the upside, and then possibly sweep from this area. There's going to be two areas of possible sweep. So price will either reach my level here, or it might sweep from this lower level right here. Right? There's two levels right there. This whole cluster up here is a resistance zone. So this is the R3, R2 resistance cluster. It's also lined up with the 200 EMA. And then right here at the level above is the 200 EMA trend confirmation level. So there's like one of two things that may happen here. Price will either push up, sweep, or it's going to break above, and the trend is going to shift to the upside. So there's two things that may happen there. There's a couple levels of liquidity here. We have a pending red candle here. If this candle closes red, this could start to set up for an MPSV2. We don't have that yet, but once we have that confirmed, we can look for a possible push to the upside. That's going to go hand in hand with my analysis here for a sweep. So what I'd like to see here is I'd like to see an MPSV2 set up here, push up, and then sweep from my level and come back into the range, right? I think best case scenario, that's kind of what I'm looking for right here. We're still within this consolidation range. You can see over here on the weekly chart. So this is my weekly outlook right here. I'm going to rename this as weekly. Yeah, this is my weekly right here. Price is currently in the weekly resistance zone. The monthly resistance zone is pretty far off. It's still over here. I'll rename this monthly. So we got price kind of pushing up from that point. Looking over here at the market profile, price is way past the value high right now. It's reaching up to the upper levels over here. This is the point of control from Friday. So we got a lot of bounce areas right here where price can possibly bounce from. The higher level up here is going to be where price pushes past, but we are getting price to push up higher here. There's no MPSV2 yet, guys. So like I said earlier, we're looking for a possible MPSV2 to the upside. We had a buy signal here. Price is pushing up. Once we get that red candle, that'll be the possible retracement. We're currently bouncing off the resistance zone right here. So this is the daily resistance, guys. We're currently in the R2, R3 resistance cluster. Again, this is where the 200 EMA is currently sitting. So you might get a bounce right here. You can see price is respecting my resistance zone up here. It's bouncing directly off it. No MPSV2 confirmed yet. Yeah, nothing confirmed yet. There's a couple different liquidity zones here. So if you're looking for a sweep, you can possibly catch these lower sweeps right here. For me, I'm looking for the higher sweep up here. The higher sweep right here lines up with the Asia high. So we got a couple different confluences around this area. We're going to be in the mid resistance point. This is also the Asia high. And then we have the EMA 200 trend confirmation level up here. You can see how price is bouncing off the resistance right here. Again, we'll follow it. So possible sweep right here if you're going for that lower sweep level. Looks like it might sweep off that level right there. I'm not in this position, but this is the first level of sweep. So this is the first level of sweep right here. Again, I'm looking for this higher level up here. Doesn't mean this level can't hit, but I'm not in this level right here. I think this is a more risky level for me personally. So not looking for anything right there at the moment. But if you guys are looking to take that lower sweep, there's a possible lower sweep area around there. Again, I'm looking for this upper level over here at 610 because this lines up with the Asia high. So we'll follow this here. I'm not in this position though. I'm trying to get in from the sweep up here. So this could possibly sweep, maybe pull back into the range, and then attempt again a second time later. All right. So this could be the possible first sweep right here. It's sweeping off my first liquidity level right there. 20 got hit already. So if you guys took that first level of sweep, 20 points already got hit. Again, it just kind of depends on like the levels that you guys are looking for. If you guys are going for the full 30, going for the 20, the ATR right now is currently at 26. So the full 30 will probably get hit. The 20 did get hit already though. So 20 is done with. Full TP on that. All right, so it looks like the 30 might have gotten hit right there. So if you guys got that, nice work. Yeah, full TP on that sweep right there, guys. First level got swept. I'm still waiting for the second level here to get hit. So again, we're back into the range. So it's doing exactly what we were anticipating earlier. The MPS V2 can still set up right here, guys. We have a buy signal, retracement. If we get a green candle to follow, that's going to be an MPS V2 back up. Nice. Talanji over there got the sweep for 25 points. Nice work, Talanji. So again, I'm still looking for my sweep up here. I would have jumped into this one, but these were kind of close to each other, so don't want to get in too early. All right, so full TP on that sweep. Again, we're now going to look for possible MPS V2 to the upside. Clean that up right there. If this sell signal here closes, there's no longer going to be an MPS V2 to the upside. MPS V2 may swing back down. All right, so two sweeps so far, guys. Sweep from down here, sweep from up here. No MPS V2s in between yet. We had a sell signal here. There was no retracement confirmation, so there's no MPS for it to sell. We had a buy signal here, which price pushed up, retraced. There's no confirmation for a buy yet. So again, if a candle here closes green, this could be an MPS V2. It hasn't closed green yet. It's currently red right now. If this does close green, though, this could be a possible MPS V2 to the upside. All right, so nothing quite there yet. We have a really strong green candle right here. So this could be a possible MPS V2 up. Uh, okay, actually, this is the news candle right here. This is PMI. So we got PMI data over here, which was positive. S&P Global Services PMI. I forgot there was news here at 6:45. We have another news event right here at 7 o'clock. So we're getting a spiky candle right here because this is the PMI news, which was positive. And then at 7 o'clock, we have existing home sales. I was like wondering where this big spike came from. So if you guys want to take this, I'd say be careful, guys, because this is a news candle. This is an MPSV2 setup though. So if you guys are looking to take it, it has to close green. And if it does close green, this is going to be an MPSV2 setup for a buy. But this is a news candle, so the market reaction is based off the news right there. So if you guys want to take that, it is currently running. ATR is currently at 26 right now, so you might want to go for a smaller target, maybe 25. If you want to go for the full 30, I mean, feel free. You can even go down for the 20. It's just really up to preference because, again, like I said, this is the news candle, so might want to be careful with taking the entries right here. Nice. Sam got the entry earlier as well. All right, so we'll see what happens here next as price continues to move along. So we do have an MPS V2 here, but the MPS V2 is happening directly on the news candle, guys. So again, you want to be careful with that entry there. We got another news event over here at 7 o'clock. It is existing home sales. It's forecasted to be negative. So we'll see. Retail, the PMI was forecasted to be negative too. So over here was 52 from last month. It was forecasted to be 51. 52.9 is actually above 52 and 53.1. So better than expected right there. Again, right here, guys. So this has hit 20 points TP. Looks like the 30 points is on its way up. And it looks like the 30 points right there also got hit. Or almost. Price is pushing back up to this liquidity up here, guys. We have that second level of liquidity still above it. We get a cluster of liquidity sitting around this area right now. So we got price pushing up right here. Try to clean this up as much as I can. It's kind of messy right now. All right, price is pushing up. Looks like it's going to push up towards my liquidity sweep area up there. It's going to be lined up with the Asia high. See if my sweep level here gets filled. Hasn't filled yet. Price pushed above this this liquidity to the next level. So it looks like another sweep here may get filled on the second level, guys, that I marked up right there. We'll see if it gets filled or if it continues pushing up higher to my actual level above where the Asia high is at. So you guys can see the chop here, right? This is the chop that I was warning you guys about. We're currently in the weekly resistance. So right here, we're currently in the weekly resistance cluster up around this area. So there's going to be a lot of areas for balance here. Price will probably continue pushing up higher, bounce, and then just, just keep repeating the process from there. So we got the second level of liquidity currently triggered right now. I'm not in this position again. I'm waiting for price to reach this upper level here, which is the Asia high. And I'm going to look for it to possibly come down from there. Nice. Talonji actually got the MPS V2 right there for 30. Nice work, Talonji. All right, so let's watch that next level here. We do have news coming up shortly at about 7 o'clock, guys, so I might have to get out early if we get too close to the news event. For existing home sales, I still got my limit order kind of waiting right there. Close to it, about a couple points away. All right, so my sweep level here has gotten filled. We're currently at the 200 EMA resistance zone.
Order filled.
See here if this kind of pushes through. Again, I'm still taking partial risk on my trades, guys, so I'm not really risking too much. So currently in the position right here, I'm going to see here if I can get in and out quickly. If I don't get in and out quickly, I might have to exit early because we do have news at 7 o'clock. So currently pushing in profit right here. The ATR is currently at 26. Went for the full 30 right there, but I'll continue to watch it here if I need to pull out manually or move my stop loss in profit. So we had a pretty nice rejection right there off the Asia high, and then also the 200 EMA trend confirmation level. So it's looking good right here, letting it push down a little further. So I'm in profit right there, pushing down to this lower level. Let's see if we can get out of the resistance zone and lower back into the range down below. So my sweep right there got filled, pushed down, and try to reach this down to the lower end area right here. The only thing again that we talked about is, we're kind of stuck in this chop right now, and then we have markets still reacting to the news from earlier. Plus, we have more news coming up here at 7 o'clock. So I'll give it a few minutes. If it takes too long, then I'll probably just pull out for partial profit or remove my stop loss in profit. 6:51 right now. We got news at 7 o'clock, so it's coming up quick. Got to pay attention to it because we might get some pre-news movement here as well. Again, the news here is forecasted to be negative, but the thing is, the previous news was forecasted to be negative as well, and it was actually positive. All right, I'm in profit about 20 points, 23 points. It's on its way down to my full TP. Man, we're getting close to the news right here. I don't like the chop. Got really close to my target right there. It was in profit about like 27 points. It's off by like a few points right here. Yeah, we're getting close to the news event. 6:52. ATR is currently at 27 right now. Nice. Sam got out at 20. Yeah, I think the full 30 is it's a little tricky and it's a little hectic right here, guys. So price is kind of pushed up a little bit. I think we're starting to get the pre-news movement because the news here, it's forecasted negative, but because the previous news was positive, I think it's gonna get some push to the upside, at least pre-news. We got news right here coming up shortly. Still holding on to my position. Again, I'm taking partial risk, so I'm not really too worried about like what happens with this specific trade because the next trade I'll make it right back. This is might stop me out. So it's getting to that upper resistance point. Yeah, I might have to change my targets from the 30 guys because we got really close to our target down here. Only problem is that we're so close to news. This is probably gonna stop me out. Yeah. Unfortunately, got stopped out on this trade, guys. Looks like half you guys here got out early, closer to the earlier target. So this reached over here about 27 points. We're at the 30 mark right here. Again, the ATR was at 26. So if I move my target to where the ATR was, 26, obviously target would have gotten hit, but it's okay. I'm gonna eat that loss right there. Like I said, I'm taking partial risk on my trades, so these losses don't really hurt very much. So I took a loss there. Looks like Sam took a win. A couple other people here looks like they pulled out early as well. Nice. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So Cern over here looks like he got it. Ben got it for 25. Kyle got it for 25. Talanji 25. Christian got out. CJ got it for 27 points. And yeah, Talanji said it was moving weird. And Rev got it for 20. All right. I'm glad you guys locked it in. I'm okay. I just took a partial loss on that, so it's all good. I'll keep watching for the next one here. Hopefully the next one, I'm probably gonna adjust my targets a little more because I need to follow the ATR. I was trying to go for that full 30. Typically I move my stop loss in profit, but for today I didn't because I thought this was like, okay, this is a nice sweep. The sweep was actually pretty strong if you look at it here. So the initial trigger for the sweep right there, it triggered it and it pushed down super sharp. And then when I saw this candle, I was like, okay, this is fine. I don't have to move my stop loss in profit. However, this huge green candle came out of nowhere and then just spiked it all the way back up. Like I said, we're getting close to news at 7 o'clock. So that's always the tricky part when you're trading close to news events. The news event's going to happen right here at 7 o'clock. It's existing home sales. And because the news over here at 6:45 was positive, obviously, it's kind of tricky going against news because we took a sell there, but price was already pushing to the upside, which is all good. You got to stick to your game plan. I talked about this with someone else the other day. Someone asked me about, whether it's good to move your stop loss in profit. Most of the time, it's not because your risk to reward is not going to balance out. But in situations like this is probably a situation where I should have moved it in profit because I knew news was coming up shortly. But it's okay. I left it as is. So the next levels up here, I don't think we have any more resistance levels up here, actually, guys. So looking at this, we don't really have any more resistance levels. We currently have a weekly resistance over here. So if anything, I mean, price is currently within the weekly resistance. Let's check the monthly real quick. Price is not close to the monthly resistance at all. You can see our price is actually ranging between the monthly resistance and support. So price is kind of bounced from this area, retested and pushed right back up. If we do push up higher, we're currently in the weekly resistance, so I might be able to get into a possible sweep around here. The only problem again is that we have news here at 7 o'clock, right? So with news here at 7 o'clock, this is going to be a tricky area for us to look for opportunities for entry. One thing that you guys want to look for here, price is currently above the 200 EMA trend confirmation level. If price stays above here, then we might get a continued bullish push. Right? We might get a continued bullish push. If it doesn't stay above here, then price may come back down. So let me go over here. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. It's a little messy now, the charts. All right, clean up the charts a little bit. We have a new level of liquidity up here. This is a new level. We have an old level, which is right here, though. So I might look for a possible sweep right here above to recoup my loss on that last trade. So probably not this one right here, but I'll probably try to get in from up here. So I'll watch for it. We got news coming up right here in about 2 minutes. Let's see. There's nothing else coming up here. So looking at the stats for the day so far, we had MPSV2, or sorry, we had sweep, MPSV2, sweep right here. This sweep over here obviously should have been cut a little shorter. I think I might go for the 25s because looking at the ATR now, it's currently sitting around 25 now. I think 25 might be the good number. Price did push up again right there. We're getting close to the liquidity level that I was hoping to get into. The only problem is we have news right here at 7 o'clock. So I'm not really going to look into jump into this yet. There's more levels up here, but I mean, obviously they're kind of far off. Let's see, looking at the market profile, 660 level is going to be value high. So I'll just mark this up here so we have an idea. This is a value high from Friday the 20th. $620. So we got a value high, which is currently right there. I'm just looking for areas for price to possibly bounce from. 690 right here, the 17th. So I'm just looking for different bounce points right here. Price looks like it reached my liquidity zone right there. Obviously, it's right on the news, so I wouldn't take that. News again right here was positive. Yeah, so that was kind of what I was worried about, guys. The news right there at 7 o'clock, positive, spike price up. The sweep may still fill, so it's currently running right now. We have a possible sweep level right here, guys. It's just tricky because the news was positive, so I wouldn't go against it. It was mixed. So for existing home sales for this month specifically, it was negative, but everything else was positive. So month over month was positive. Actually, no, I take that back. It just changed. It went from, that's weird. Yeah, it went from red to actually green. So you can see over here the sweep was pretty messy. Looks like 25 points would have gotten hit again right there. Not quite, almost. So this trade's still technically running right now. Trade is still technically running. See if there's any other levels here. This is gonna be from the 16th, 780. Yeah, so the news right there was positive, guys. Not anything that I would recommend taking. I'm just marking up higher zones over here for if price does reach these points. Because I'm looking to get into another sweep here to recoup my loss from earlier. I'm not in this position right here, guys. I just marked it up for you guys. Again, this is one that I wouldn't take because it was right at news. 7 o'clock right here was the news candle. This is and the news was positive, so price is pushing up higher. I was looking to possibly get into this sweep right here because this was the next level. The next level from there is going to be up here. So I'll be looking for another sweep from this level right here, guys, to recoup my loss from earlier. So sweep level is going to be at 42,759. Again, you want to be careful around news price. Again, this whole area in general, because stuff like this happens where price gets manipulated. We want price to be manipulated, but we don't want price to be manipulated against our direction. So, like for example, if the news was negative, then that'd be great because that would be in our direction of trade, right? Because we're looking for sells here. All right, we still got price pushing up higher. Yeah, price pushing up higher from this point. It's currently bouncing off the value high here from the 17th. So I'm looking over here at the market profile. It's currently bouncing off this level right here, June 17th value high. I don't have any areas for entry right here. I'm looking for my sweeps up here. So I'm just waiting for price to push up higher if it can. If it doesn't, that's fine. There may be a possible MPSV2 back to the downside right here. I'm just looking for confluences for possible opportunity for entry. All right, looks like market here is starting to slow down a little bit. We're getting closer to 7 o'clock, or we're already past 7 o'clock actually. It's 7:04. We've been talking about this for the past couple of weeks. I try to get my entries in before 7 o'clock because once 7 o'clock hits, volatility starts to flatten out. Right here, you can see the market is starting to kind of flatten out. Price is starting to go sideways. The ATR is currently at 25 right now. So it's still sitting around the average, but it's not super high or super low. We got price pushing up a little higher from this point. Possible sweep's going to be right here at 42,759. All right, I'm just waiting, guys. Waiting for price to reach my upper levels. All right, price is pushing up to the upper level. ATR is currently at 25, so it's not super dead yet. Price is still pushing up. So I'll try to see if I can get in around this area up here. Let's see, 759. All right, let's put an order up there to wait. If price does reach that point. It is currently 707 right now. So I put my order up there. It is kind of just waiting around this area here for my sweep. Price may come down from this point. So if it comes down, it's probably going to create a new area of liquidity right here. Looking at price, it's pretty overextended. So I think it's time for it to swing back down. We're past all the resistance zones right now. We're currently, or resistance zones for the daily. So all of my levels of resistance over here have pretty much been passed on the daily time frame. Next area of balance or resistance is going to be up here. This is going to be the June 16th value high on the market profile. That's the closest thing above. I don't really see anything else up here. We're currently in the resistance for weekly. So looking over here, we're currently in the major resistance cluster for the weekly outlook. On the monthly, we're not there yet. So price has still got a ways to go to reach the monthly resistance right here. So we're still kind of down the middle, but we are currently in the resistance cluster over here for the weekly. So you can see over here, price sometimes pushes past it, but then it comes down very sharply, which is kind of what I'm looking for here. The volatility is pretty flat. There's not really much going on. But again, I'm looking for price to push up higher. I saw a big order come in over here for the time and sales. Let me see what we got. So we got some big buy orders here, actually. There's about 62 contracts that filled at 42,713. So price is trying to push up. I just saw some big orders coming right there. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to keep pushing, but it did push up quite a bit from that point. But we'll see here if it climbs up higher. If it climbs up higher, great. I'll look for that sweep. If it doesn't climb up higher, then we might get an MPSV2 back down to the range below. So you guys can see this big bullish push right here, guys. There's a big bullish push. The range is established down here. So if it does come back down, it's going to pull back to this lower area right here. There may be a possible MPSV2 and a drop back down here to the middle range. Just something to look at. So it doesn't look like my sweep is getting filled here yet, guys. Or it's even gonna get filled at all. Looks like price might be trying to make its way back down from this point. So it looks like price broke above this area of liquidity. Looks like it might fake out, pull back down, retest, and pull back into the lower range here. We'll follow it. I mean, otherwise, there's nothing else for us to take here right now. Only close entry for me would be that sweep above. All right, here goes the dead volatility. This is exactly what I was trying to avoid with getting in on my earlier entry. It's fine. If I don't get my entry for today, it's okay. I'll take that loss from earlier and I'll just bounce back tomorrow. I'm not done analyzing. I'm not done trading yet though, but it just doesn't look like my sweep up here is going to get filled, so I'm probably gonna have to cancel it pretty soon. So we got a pending sell signal right here, guys. With the pending sell signal, we may have possible opportunity for MPSV2 back down. If not, price may push up, but there is not much else here. Let's see. Christian said, what's today called? No, wacky is Wacky Wednesday. Monday is Manipulation Monday, or whatever you want to call it. There's a day for everything, I feel like. But there's nothing here right now, guys. So again, we're looking for price. So the sell signal here did not provide an MPSV2. We have a possible buy signal here that's currently setting up. So with this buy signal right here, this could possibly set up for an MPSV2 to the upside. So going back to what we talked about earlier, guys, this is what we were looking for because we already had a sweep down here. So we're now looking for a possible MPSV2 right here into another sweep. I know, right, Christian? He was here for like a second when I first got on, and then he jumped off real quick. All right, we got price pushing up right now. I'm still going to try to get into this sweep area from up here, guys. So we currently have a pending buy signal right now. Buy signal is pending. For my risk, guys, I've halved my risk into three parts. So I'm still taking a third of a risk per trade. So basically, in order for me to have a full loss or a full win, I have to have either three losses back to back or three wins back to back. Either way, I'm just like kind of in limbo. You guys have seen my profits lately. That my profits aren't really they're not as big as what they used to be because I'm not taking as much risk. Um, and that's all calculated, right? Like all of my risk that I take is calculated. I already know that the market here is kind of choppy and it's going to be kind of tricky during the summer. This is why I lower my risk so I could take more trades. Because before I would only be able to take one trade and I'll be done trading for the day. Now, since I've half my risk into a third, I can take three trades for the day. Gives me more opportunities to break even or to make slight profit. So that's my recommendation. If you guys want to trade during these summer markets and during wartime, with what's going on geopolitically, I would recommend just minimizing your contract size. Like if you normally take a 10 contract, right? Take a five instead, or take a three contract. If you take normally like a 15 contract size, take something even smaller, take a five contract. So that gives you more opportunity to kind of bounce back and you're not too stressed out about taking losses. I think that's the biggest part with a lot of people, right? If you get too stressed out about taking losses, it's going to mess with your mental and you're going to start to revenge trade and overtrade. For me, I could take more trades and it's still not considered overtrading or revenge trading because I'm not losing as much per trade. So just something to keep in mind, guys. Risk management is super key. You want to lower your risk, of course, during these types of markets because you're going to run into losses, guys. There's no doubt about it. You're going to run into like a lot of wins, but you're also going to run into losses here and there. So you just want to be smart about it. All right, so no MPSV2 here. If price pushes back up with a strong green candle, this will be a possible MPSV2. and it'll probably push up to my sweep level up there, possibly. All right, so the candles here pretty much died down quite a bit. So if this candle closes green as a strong green candle, this will be a MPSV2 for a buy, guys, if you guys are looking to take that. So this candle over here needs to push up right here above this area where I'm currently circling around. It's got to close above this momentum signal right here. So if it closes above this line right here, this is an MPSV2. It's probably going to push up to this area of liquidity up here. And this is where I'm going to try to get in for a sweep. Lila's asking, what's a sweep level? Sweep level is at 42,759. All right, so no close above this area yet, guys. Price came back down right here, so there's no MPSV2 yet for a buy. Again, if you're looking to take the entry, price needs to close above, and I'll put a line right here. This green candle needs to close above this blue line. If it closes above the blue line, that will be an MPSV2 for a buy. So this MPSV2 will probably push into the sweep level that I'm trying to get into up here. So this will basically be a MPSV2 into sweep and then back down to the range. Buy signal, retracement, confirmation. This looks like it's going to close as an MPSV2, guys, for anybody who's looking to take it. These trades are going to overlap a little bit. Okay, so we got the MPSV2 here. I'm not in the MPSV2. I'm looking for the sweep. So I'm going to try to get in from up here. If you guys want to take that MPSV2, feel free. For me, I'm not really doubling up on my risk. I'm just taking one entry at a time. So I'm not looking to take this up and then back down, especially because the volatility here is kind of low. So you guys want to take it, feel free. I'll be following it right there. If you guys want to take it for smaller risk or smaller target, the ATR is currently at 22 right now, guys. So low ATR at the moment. Again, I'm trying to get in from a sweep up here. So I'm not going to double up on my trade. Just going to wait for this here to push up. Once it pushes up, I'll look to get into my sweep. As you guys can see, the volatility here is pretty low, which is kind of what I expected. So here we go with the MPSV2 up. If you guys are looking to take that for a 20, 20 could probably be a better target right there. Mainly because the volatility is so low. Yeah, you guys can see here the volatility is not really holding. It's pushing up, but it's not like immediately pushing up right away. ATR is currently at 21. All right. So there is nothing here right now. Price is still going back and forth. Again, I'm not in this MPSV2. I'm trying to get in for my upper sweep up here. I'm just following it. You guys can see the volatility is very low. Even with my sweep up here, I might have to lower it a little bit. I don't know if I can go for the full 30. So I'm trying to get in from that sweep up there. So obviously I want the MPSV2 to push up, hit its TP, fill my sweep, and then come back down. And this is why I try not to trade after 7 o'clock. You guys can see that there's not too much going on. All right, price is still kind of sitting right there. All right, price again is still just ranging, consolidating around the same area. It's at opening price. So my sweep still hasn't gone hit yet, guys. Not in this MPSV2, like I said. If you want to switch it, initially I marked it up for 30-30, but it looks like the 20 wouldn't have hit. This is why preferably I don't like taking MPSV2s after 7 o'clock. If you want to take MPSV2s, I'd probably take those before 7 o'clock. Ideally, that's where I want to take my sweeps as well. But you guys can see here the volatility is pretty low. You're probably going to get some back and forth movement here. This price continues to move along. Again, I'm trying to get in for my sweep up here. So no entries for me until the sweep gets filled. I'm not really looking to take MPSV2s during the summer as much. I'll be following them, but I'm not going to be taking them. Because this is what you don't want to get caught in, right? When the market's going back and forth like um, this is what a summer market looks like. It's very choppy, it's very rangy, and choppy and rangy markets are they go well with sweeps. When the market's moving directional, like it did here earlier, that's when MPSV2s work well, but obviously price is not going directional right now. You can see the cutoff right here. If I mark up 7 o'clock, so see how the direction started to kind of flatten out once we hit 7 o'clock? Right here, price kind of moved very directional. And then 7 o'clock hit, and then it went into this consolidation range. And then it pushed up. Now it's back in a consolidation range again. So you just got to understand where your edge sits. Our edge is typically before 7 o'clock. But if there's opportunities for entry, I always try to get in after 7 if there's like good setups. Yeah, CJ said I never wanted price to hit a session so bad like I do now. Yeah, I mean it's pretty flat. It's pretty flat. It's not really too much going on here. Yeah, Sam took a stop on the MPSV2. Look good, but look to look pretty. Yeah, exactly. It looked like a good setup, Sam. Honestly, I thought it was going to be a good setup. I thought this was going to be a pretty clean push to the upside and then rejection off my sweep and then come back down. But you guys can see here that the volatility is just it's straight flat right now. There's nothing going on. It's about to be 7:30. Once we get to 7:30, the volatility gets even flatter. The ATR is currently at 22 right now, so it hasn't really changed much. It's still sitting around that 20, somewhere around there. Yeah, the range right now is currently it's about like a 40-point range, I think, 40, 50-point range. Yeah, sounds about right. 50-point range right there. So it's pretty much just going sideways at the moment. All right, looks like my sweep's probably not going to get filled. I'll leave it up there for now, but doesn't look like it's going to get filled right now. All right, we just got this. Nothing going on. Price is still going sideways. All right, looks like we finally got price pushing down. This is an MPSV2 actually to the downside, guys. So I just noticed this right here. I don't know if anybody actually caught that. We had a sell signal, retracement, confirmation. It happened very quickly, and it actually looks like it already hit, or it's on its way to 30 points right there. All right, my sweep here didn't get filled. I'm probably going to cancel it pretty soon, guys. I don't think price is going to push up to this area here. Unfortunately, it was a little too far up. We got really close to it, but not close enough to where my fill would have gotten triggered. So yeah, that was a good MPS V2. It came up pretty quickly. I think these, so, well, not that I think, but I've seen this before. When these MPS V2s come up very quickly like this, these are usually the best kind of MPS V2s. The ones where they're just set up, retrace, confirmation right after. When it's like a 3 bar MPS V2, like a quick one like that, it usually hits. It's a lot of times this is missed though, unless you're focused on MPS V2s only. Um, yeah, I don't know if there's any other confirmations here of setups like that. They don't happen very often, but when they do happen, they usually almost always hit. Yeah. So for like a lot of you guys who want to focus mainly on MPS V2s, if you focus on this specific pattern, basically a 3 bar pattern, it's a momentum, retracement, confirmation. It usually hits right away, but you have to really be paying attention to it. Um, so there goes the MPS V2 right there. I'll see if there's any other opportunities at this moment. I don't think my sweep above is going to get filled. Let me see if there's any more levels of liquidity here. Yeah, not quite. Yeah, not quite. 7:30 right now. So I mean, my sweep level could still possibly get filled. I'll just leave it up there for now. I'm not really going to touch it or mess with it. Nice. So Sam over there caught it. He got these MPSV2 sell for 15 points. Nice work, Sam. Yeah, Brock said that MPSV2, when looked at independently, it's super slow. Yeah, I agree. The volatility wasn't super high at that point. So I'm still leaving my pending order up here for the sweep. We have price currently rejecting off the weekly resistance right there. So it's currently pushing from the weekly resistance right here back down into the range. Monthly resistance here, not so much. Price is kind of just sitting down the middle. Yeah, we're currently in the weekly resistance cluster up here. Ideally, to be looking for some sells here, but It's not really getting much. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Right now, the volatility is just really low. As we get past 7 o'clock, closer to 8 o'clock, the volatility just gets slower and slower. So not much there right now. All right, not much going on. All right, 732, low volatility. ETR is currently still at 22 right now. 20 now, actually. It's starting to drop. If we get below 20 ATR, I think, markets probably just going to start to consolidate and range really tightly for the next, 30 minutes or so. So we'll pay attention to the ATR down here. It's currently at 21 ATR. We got price going back and forth between the range. So we now have a range right here, as you guys can see. So this would be considered like a micro range. So this would be, yeah, there's not really much here, as you guys can see. This would be considered the micro support, micro resistance. The reason why I call it micro is because it's very small. It's off the 1 minute here, and it's probably going to break past it. So for time being, this is currently the range at the moment. Very small range. Same with this one here. All right, so we got the micro resistance, micro support right there. It's currently measure it. I mean, it's not that small. It's about 80 points. So it's an 80-point range right here. So it's not like super, super small, but it is small in comparison to the bigger range that we have, right? The bigger range right here on the weekly time frame, you can see it's still respecting these areas here. We have the major resistance cluster where price is currently sitting. We got the first major support right here. So this box over here is last week's support. So this is weekly support from last week. These are the levels for this week. So we have the first major support right here. You can see price kind of bounce off those areas. We have the weekly demand right here, and then breakdown trigger if price gets lower to these points. Same with these areas up here. This is last week's resistance. If I take that off right there, this is the breakout extension target, and then this is the resistance for this week. So sometimes they'll overlap. If we get new zones around these areas, obviously I will delete these price points and then we'll clean it up a little bit. Right now, it's not really necessary. Price here is coming back down, currently at the micro support, not really doing too much at this point. Let's see, Sam's buy was at 42,640. So Sam said 42,656 sweep happened. 656. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So the sweep happened right here at my lower liquidity, right below the micro sweep. Yeah, nice 20, 25 points right there, almost 30. Yeah, so a little sweep right there happened at that liquidity zone. See, the thing that I noticed, guys, is that this strategy or this type of style that we're trading, this kind of works on all time frames. It works on all time frames and on like pretty much all seasons of the market. Because we're really looking for like three different patterns, right? If you guys look at my strategies that we follow here, when you're looking for MPSV2s, you're looking for market to trend to the upside. Vice versa, if you're looking for an MPSV2 for a sell, you're looking for market to trend to the downside, right? Our sweeps happen at these upper areas where price consolidates, right? So one thing that I noticed and that I realized is that we never really had a sideways type strategy that we were following, right? Because this is typically how the market will move. We either have market going upwards or we have market going downwards. If that's the case, then we'll be looking for MPSV2 during trending markets. When market's not trending like it's currently right now and going sideways, this is where we look for possible sweeps. So, I mean, it works on all time frames, not just the 1 minute. It works pretty much on every other time frame. I've been looking on higher time frames here too, like say the weekly or the 4 hour actually. Sweeps happen here too. It's the same thing, same concept. Like MPSV2 would push up. I don't have any indicators on here, but it basically follows in the same direction. Let's see. Barack said, I'm looking for a break below 42,657 to consider any sells. Buyers have a lot to do to set up. Barack's asking for officially bearish. I mean, I've been bearish all day today, Barack. So I've been looking for bearish moves all day today. We've been bearish. We've been looking for like because my if you look at my PDF, I was looking for a neutral, slightly bearish. So we're not really bearish until price gets like super below, right? So I don't know if you're talking about like the bigger scheme of things. The bigger scheme of things, we're not really bearish until price gets below here, right? Until it gets to the lower deep swing support. I mean, if you're talking about just current movement right now, this isn't a big range, so this isn't really bearish. Price was bullish here. Price is bullish and then it's swung this way. So if you're talking about like, bearish into the range, then yeah, I would agree with you. But I don't think we're really bearish in the bigger picture. Because if you go on the higher time frames, like say for example, we go on the 1 hour, like I wouldn't consider this bearish, right? So it just depends on like how far you're looking for that bearish analysis, right? Like this would be considered neutral bearish because if you go on something like the 15 minute, like this is super bullish right here, right? So yeah, if you're talking about lower time frame, I would say this is basically neutral to bearish. The thing is, in order for it to really be bearish on the 1 minute, it would have to break this low right here, right? Because technically this is a range right here. So this would be the range right here. Um, this here was bullish, of course, and then it turned neutral, and then now it's turning into bearish. But like in order for it to really be bearish, we need to break below here, come down lower. But yeah, currently I do see it currently bearish at the moment. Oh, not really bearish, but I'm seeing it as a correction, right? I think that's the better word, Brock. It's more so a correction because market started right here, right at 630. We had the bullish push and now it's correcting back down to where it was supposed to be down here. So I would say, yeah, price is correcting right now. I wouldn't say it's bearish yet, but it's correcting. All right, guys, my sweep up here is probably not going to get filled, so I'm going to cancel that for now, which is okay. We have a whole week ahead of us, so I'm in no rush, right? Um, I just need to if we have a win tomorrow for a sweep, I'm gonna make it right back, and then hopefully the rest of the week will be smoother than today, or we canceled right there. So I took off my pending order, guys. Let's take a look at the levels here. So let me take off this micro resistance and micro support because it's pretty much pointless now. Price is below it. We got price coming back down to this lower level here. So this could be a possible sweep area right here, guys. Um, like I said earlier, this is a break and retest of this area right now. So I said earlier that this is a 200 EMA trend confirmation level, right? So if price was to break above here and stay above this area, then we may have a bullish push and price may continue to climb up higher, right? To 43,000. 43,000 is going to be the key target level for us, right? Up to here. So if price reaches this upper area, that's going to be the key area that we're going to be looking for price to break for us to go into a bullish market. Right now, we're currently retesting the 200 EMA trend confirmation level. This level right here is like basically the highest resistance for today. So with having this at this point, price here has retested it. If you get an MPSV2 to the upside, then I think price is going to continue climbing up higher. So just pay attention to the MPSV2. We don't have a buy signal yet, but if we do get an MPSV2 here, this could be a possible push to the upside because price is staying above this trend confirmation level. If not, and price pulls below here, then we're just going to go back into this lower range. But the key thing here is this is going to be a key battleground right here, right? This is what you want to pay attention to. Just pay attention to how price reacts to this area right here. Because there's two different things that have happened here. Price broke resistance, and now this resistance is now support, and it goes up higher, or price broke resistance, came back for correction, retested this area, and now we're back into a bearish market. So this is key to pay attention to, this middle area right here. Just look to see how price reacts to this zone right here. And then from here, you'll have a better idea of like what to look for. So if price breaks below, it's a correction, probably come down to this lower support. If price breaks above and stays above here, possible bullish turn. Let's see. Samsung I knew was going to come down. Love it. Now waiting for a buy confirmation from here. Yeah, exactly, Sam. So two different things to look out for here. Either look for that buy confirmation or look for price to break below and correct back into its bearish confirmation. Because, for example, like I said today, for my daily outlook, a key bias was neutral to slightly bearish. So if price pulls back down to this area, this pretty much establishes that price is neutral, right? Because market opened right here at 630. And if price pulls back into this area, it's neutral because it didn't really go anywhere. So just something to keep in mind, we did identify this as a neutral market for the most part. Again, tomorrow I'll be pulling up the daily outlook and we'll see how market looks from there. But for the most part right now, this is kind of where we're sitting. So we'll we'll see what happens next. All right. So again, just pay attention to what's happening right here, guys. If price breaks below, we're going to go back into a neutral market. Price is pretty much pulled back to where it was initially, which is the opening price right here. You guys can see the consolidation is extend this over here. So basically, this would be the neutral range. Right? If price pulls back into this lower area, this is going to be neutral range. If price climbs up and continues climbing, then price is going to switch to bullish trend. So again, pay attention to what's happening right here in the middle. See how we're getting this big green candle? This is basically the crossroads, whether price goes back into neutral push or if it goes back to this bullish push up here, then we might go into a bullish market. Then in that situation, so if that's the case and we go into a bullish market, then I'll be looking for buys instead of sell sweeps. So right now I was looking for a sell sweep up here, right? Because we're currently in a neutral to bearish market. If price confirms and it stays above here, I'll look for price to retest this area down here and I'll look for a possible sweep to the upside. So you have to adapt with the market, guys. Market's always changing with regard to direction. So you just have to follow what the market's showing you and what it's telling you and keep trading that direction with regard to your bias. But all right, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. 7:46 right now, so it's getting closer to 8 o'clock. Unfortunately, we're not near any of my zones, so I don't think there's going to be any sweeps for me to take here. My lower zones down here for the support are like they're pretty far down. So if price does come, below, it's gonna have to drop like quite a big, let's see. It's gonna have to drop about 230 points, guys. My first level of support's way down here. So in order for me to take a buy sweep, it's gonna have to drop about 240 points. Vice versa, if price pushes up here, it's gonna have to push up about 170 points to reach my sweep up here, right? So we'll see what's next. Let's see from Barack. Barack said, my opinion, I feel we're just coming from the manipulation phase, and logically, I only see distribution happening in the sell direction. Yeah, no, I could see that too. But that's where the confirmation is going to be, Barack. So like you said, if we're going to go into that distribution, like you said, we're in manipulation right now, right? Or we're coming off manipulation. So wherever price moves from this area here, that's going to be their distribution, right? If price breaks below here and comes down lower, that's going to be their distribution to the downside. Vice versa, if price bounces off this area, distribution to the upside, right? So like you said, we don't know, we don't really know until it happens. That's why we have to wait for that confirmation. Yeah, exactly, Brock. Because it's going to distribute one way or the other, right? You just got to wait for that confirmation. Price is probably going to sit within this area. So I don't mean price just break below it, right? You need to see price actually come below it and have a strong push. If you got a strong push to the downside, price is probably going to keep dropping. Vice versa, you're not just looking for price to break above this area, you're looking for it to actually push up. Once you have that strong push up, then in that situation, you're like, okay, great. I'm going to be looking for opportunities in that direction. So it just kind of depends on like what happens here with regard to confluence and direction. The ATR is currently at 18, guys. So I'm not really expecting too much to happen here, right? Until like volatility picks back up. We're getting closer to 8 o'clock. It's currently 7:48 right now. So with it being 7:48, volatility here might kind of flatten out a bit, which it currently is, and we might not even get a move until later today. So yeah, Sam said structure turned bearish, no bullish confirmation. Exactly. So we're below this line right here, guys. Like I said earlier, focus on this line right here, which is the EMA 200 trend confirmation level. If price stays below it, then it's going to turn bearish, just like what Sam said. If price swings above it and stays above this area, then it can swing bullish. But right now, price is below it, so there's not really much here to work with at all. Price is pretty much just hanging out. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask away. Let's see. Barack said German Bubba President Nagal speaks in 10 minutes. May not have any effect on the market. Yeah. Yeah. It's probably not going to affect the US very much because yeah, they're just not they don't have a big say in like what's happening in the world. Um I think the main thing is like really waiting for like what Iran's going to do, right? Let's check financial juice real quick. I don't think there's any updates, but I think that's what everyone has their eyes on right now. It's about what's going to happen next. Yeah, so the breaking news over here, it said the war could last 2 years and we are prepared for that. CNA is quoting a senior Iranian official. I mean, Iran's not really looking too hot right now with regard to fighting back. I think there was a couple headlines saying that like, a lot of their allies are just they're not backing Iran, sorry. They're not backing Iran. It's they're kind of on their own right now. So we got a lot of crazy stuff happening, guys. I think it's going to be really important that you guys pay attention to my daily reports because I'll be covering pretty much everything that's important, right? So again, tomorrow, guys, if you guys are new here, if you guys are not familiar with these reports, I post these reports up in our Discord every morning. It's going to have all the support levels, all the resistance levels, all the news events coming up, risk management recommendations and stuff like that, quick plays, or a summary of like the entries that may come up. So if you guys want this, it's posted in the Discord. If you guys are not part of the Discord, just scroll down. Link to the Discord will be posted in the description. There's a couple setups here, so let's see. There's a scalp short 42, 445. See, a lot of this stuff happened super early. 42, 509, which is right here. Yeah, because I printed this report at like 5 a.m. So the sweep actually did happen with this right here. If you guys look at these possible trade setups, a lot of these are very similar to like what we're applying. So like if you're looking for anything here which says, any rejection type entries, this is going to be similar to our liquidity sweeps. Chop plays are going to be similar to liquidity sweeps. Breakout plays are going to be breakout or MPSV2s. And obviously sweeps over here are going to line up with our sweeps in general. So I wouldn't necessarily look too much to these entries specifically, like directly, but look at to see how they move in confluence with your own entry or your own strategy that you're following. See, Sam said break and retest 42,554 is his new best buy response. And it comes at 18 ATR. Let's see. So Sam is looking for a break and retest of 42,554. Okay. 554 should be down here. Gotcha. Yeah. So your area right there is really close to the news price from earlier this morning. So the 645 news right here, it's going to be right next to it. Not support for me, but this is going to be where news was. So this pink line right here, Sam, is where news was at 645. This was the PMI news that happened this morning. So the global manufacturing PMI. My support level is super far down, so we don't actually have support anywhere nearby. We're currently in my resistance zone right now, but the next resistance right here, my R1 resistance is going to be at 509. My daily pivot's like down here. Yeah, my actual support's like way down here, but obviously the resistance here turned to support. So we'll see. I know the price action's not good. It's still kind of sitting within this area. Like we said earlier, what Brock mentioned and what Sam mentioned as well, we're looking for price to react from this resistance cluster right here. This whole zone basically is like where price is sitting right now. Whether price pushes below or whether price pushes above, that's going to be the key thing to look at, moving forward, because this is going to tell us exactly where price is likely to push from. Whether it pushes above, whether it pushes below, that's going to be where our bias is going to shift to. Nothing here yet. All right, guys, it's about to be 8 o'clock. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. We're getting pretty close to my cutoff time. So I don't take any trades after 8 o'clock. Unfortunately, there's no entries here for me to take. All of my opportunities over here got passed by. So again, we had this first entry that came up over here. Unfortunately, I took a stop on this one because it didn't reach the full 30. It reached pretty close to it, but it was off by like 3 points where it ended up reversing the other way. Looking at our setups for the day, so we have a couple setups over here which came up. We had a sweep right here, another sweep, MPSV2 sweep here which lost, and then MPSV2 back down right here. No other sweeps here filled. We had a sweep that we were waiting for up here, and then I had a sweep down here that I was waiting to get filled from the support. But I only had one opportunity over here, and my opportunity got stopped out, unfortunately, because I didn't adjust my target to something smaller because it looked like volatility was actually pushing, which is okay. Again, like I said, it's part of the game, guys. You have to go for those full moves, or else it's going to mess with your risk to reward. Like for me, I'm taking 1-to-1, so I have to go for those full moves. Otherwise, if I keep breaking even, it's not really going to lock in much profit on my end, and it's going to mess with my entries. Because most of the time it does hit full TP. It's just you have to trust that it's going to hit. So, all right, guys, I think this might be it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Chris said I ate that full move with you, Sean. I know it's all good, Chris. I know it sucks because it was so close, right? It was only off by like maybe 2 or 3 points right here, and it literally flipped on us, but it's okay. It's Monday. Yeah, exactly, 3 points. It's all good. It's Monday, so we have a whole week ahead of us, but it is super annoying because I was thinking about moving my stop loss in profit. I was even thinking of just closing it out partially. I honestly didn't like how it started moving on this green candle. Otherwise, the previous candles over here, let's just replay that real quick. I mean, it looked like a perfect sweep, right? Like we saw this right here, nice rejection right there. I was like, okay, perfect. We're off by like a few points and it's gonna hit TP. As soon as the next candle came up, it just literally like I don't know where these big candles came from because these candles are moving so slow, and all of a sudden these huge green candles just popped up out of nowhere and then stopped us out. But it's all good. It's annoying, but it's part of the game. Something like this is where people would revenge trade, right? In general, like if we weren't really disciplined or consistent with our trading strategy, we probably would have been like, okay, I got stopped out right here. Let me get right back in right there. And I would have got stopped out a second time. Because it happens. I mean, that's just how the market is. But let me go over here. Exactly. Yeah. Chris said tomorrow's another day, better day, 100%. So let me take a screenshot of all the setups for the day. I'll put that in our Discord because I know a lot of you guys like to review it. So these are the entries covered during today's live session. All right, let me scroll up real quick. Yeah, so Christian said, I think China is going to be the most affected on the route that Iran is trying to close. Yeah, and I agree too. I mean, they're all going to be affected with that. It's going to be a mess, if and when we do go into war. I don't think Iran's going to negotiate. Honestly, I don't think they're going to negotiate. I think we're going to go into war. It's just a matter of time until it does happen. Brock said these lazy sellers are really boring. Yeah, price hasn't really pushed from this area. Again, price is trying to break past here, guys. Like I said earlier, don't chase the confirmation, don't chase the close. So just because price closes below this resistance level, don't chase it, right? Look for that break and retest below it. Look for it to possibly really push down below and then take the entry. Don't just immediately jump in because what could happen here is a possible fake out, right? Price could probably fake out right here, pull back into the range, and then do a complete opposite on you. So, all right, guys, I think that's it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you guys are new here and you guys want access to pretty much everything that we covered, just go to the website, kodikaitrades.com, or else you can also go down to the description below and join in from there. But all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Otherwise, I'll be back here, same place, same time tomorrow as we continue on with this trading week.